Hey guys, thanks for joining me. So I'm talking today about the Hourglass powder, which is this here, and that's what it looks like. I'm talking about the one called Diffused Light, and I've got two alternatives that you could use if you can't afford this one. And I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that have been watching you know, YouTubers and other people raving about the Hourglass Ambient Lighting powders and wanting to try them. And there was one product I feel that was already out that did exactly that, but it just wasn't well understood or well advertised how to use it. And then there's another product that's since come out that I think is going along those lines, and they saw this Hourglass light and thought, no, this is an idea of something that's a lot less expensive. So the idea with the Hourglass powders, and I have done a full review which I'll link below, is that you get the look of the namesake. So this one is called Diffused Light. So the idea is you use it as an all over face powder and it makes you look diffused. As if you're in diffused light, so it softens everything basically. Some people use these as highlighters just along their cheekbones. Some people use it to set their under eye powder, and some people use it all over. There's many ways you can use it actually. And they are about £45 each, something like that. They're very expensive, they're not a cheap one. There's about 5 different colours in the range. I've looked at all of the colours. I did order Ethereal Light, but it didn't do anything for me at all. I've got Dim Light, which I do like, but it's a lot darker. Luminous Light is just too dark for me. And Mood Light is also too dark for me. It's a kind of lavender type colour. And then there's a new one, but it's only in a limited edition set. I think it's limited edition anyway, it's a trio. So this is my favourite one, the Diffused Light, because it's more just like an everyday powder that you would use. So the alternatives, I've got two, like I said. One is not quite as highlighting as this, and the other one is a little bit more highlighting, I would say, or more like a dupe. So the first one is this. It's the L'Oreal, I think it's called Lumiere Magic. It says our first illuminating powder which mattifies, highlights and gives a radiant healthy glow. So that's what it looks like inside, and I'll give you a swatch of it next to the Hourglass, but I'll do it when I've done the third one, which is this, the Too Faced Absolutely Invisible Candlelight, and this is what this one looks like. I don't know whether you'll see on camera, but when you look in the pan of this one, you can actually see the tiny gold sparkles in this one. So if I do a swatch of these all together, you will see the differences. So that's the colours together. So that one there is the Hourglass Diffused Light. That one there is the L'Oreal, and that one there is the Too Faced Candlelight. So you can see actually that the Too Faced Candlelight is the closest in the colour match for the Hourglass Ambient Light, Diffused Light, sorry. And then this one is a little bit more of a sort of rosy colour. It's got a bit more of a pink tone to it. And this L'Oreal one, I should have said, is in 01 Rose Boudoir, and there is 2 colours in this one. There is another one that is darker than that, but it's still a rosy toned one. It's hard to actually see them swatched. I'll do it on my arm to see if that makes any difference, because I've just put some fake tan on, but I don't think you'll really see them. That's the 3 of them across there. That's the Hourglass, that's the L'Oreal, that's the Candlelight, but I don't think you can really see them. But on the skin, I don't think they look much different. On this side, I have got the Hourglass Diffused Light, just all across this area here. And then on here, I've got the L'Oreal Lumi powder. So when you put the L'Oreal powder on, you cannot see any kind of illuminating effect at all, I don't think. It's only in specific lights you can see this. So it's easy to think that you're just putting on a face powder that's really mattifying, and it does kind of look like it's mattified your skin. And I actually kind of thought, well, why are they calling it illuminating? You know, I can't see anything. But if you like put a little bit on your finger and then look in the right light, like natural light or really bright light, and sort of move it around, you can see that there are tiny little sparkles in it. So it does obviously give that little bit of radiance. This one, the Too Faced one, is even more so. You can actually, like I said, see it on the sheen of the powder if you hold it. It's beautiful actually. It looks kind of like it's got gold sparkles on the top of it, but when you put it on your finger you can't see it as much. But again, when you put a little swatch of it in very bright or natural light, you can see that there's a bit of sparkle to it. So I think that either of these two would be a great alternative to the Hourglass. The one that's the closest kind of dupe, if you like, would be the Too Faced Candlelight, because it's just a little bit more illuminating, and you could use this one as a highlighter as well as an all-over powder. Whereas the L'Oreal one, I don't think, it's not illuminating enough to use as a highlighter. It's definitely an all-over glowy powder, you know, but it does still mattify as well. It's hard to understand how something can mattify and give you radiance, but it looks mattifying, but there is that underlying kind of sheen, you know, that you'll see in certain lights. So this one would be the closest dupe, but this one would be a great alternative and it would give you that same effect, and it is much, much cheaper. So this one, I think it's about £7.99. I'll put the proper prices and a link below. This one is more like about £25, something like that, but the Hourglass one is about £45. So there's definite options there if you have been lusting after the Hourglass Ambient Light powders. And this one is Diffused Light. Like I said, I haven't got a dupe for any of the others or an alternative for any of the others because they're quite unique colours. So I hope that that was useful for you. I hope you found that enjoyable, and there's maybe you fancy trying this one. If you've used any of these and you've got a favourite, let me know. Funny enough, the Faced Candlelight is something that I bought myself years ago. I bought it way before my wedding, so I've just had my 1 year anniversary, so I think I probably bought this about 2 years ago, and I just wasn't really sure what to do with it, and I thought, well, I think it's an all over face powder. But I only ever used it like on nights out, and I wasn't really sure why I was using it. I just thought I'll just use this because it's got a little bit of gold in it. And now I think, well, I probably could have used it like as a highlighter along the cheekbones or on my nose or something like that. But I thought that was quite funny. And it's a beautiful product. And in fact, there's 2 types of these. I don't know what the other one is. I think there might be one that's half and half or something like that. But really nice products, all of them. So thank you again for watching. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you again very soon.